Hello, everyone, and I got another True Believers review here. This one is the very first issue of Daredevil. For anyone who doesn't know what True Believers are, it's basically a run that Marvel has going on at the moment where they reprint classic comic book characters and classic comics, I should say, and they sell it for about $1. I actually really like them because I love reading like classic comics, and I mean $1 for like basically a reprint, I think is a really good deal. This month, I believe it's Conan. I don't know what next month is going to be. I'm hoping that eventually they'll get to a point where they do Ghost Rider, because I'm really interested in reading some of that stuff. I've already read all his Marvel Spotlight issues, which was pretty good. But yeah, we got Daredevil. And the reason why I'm doing a True Believers is, and especially Daredevil, which came out like months ago, the True Believers Daredevil run, is because I didn't go to a comic book store this week, and I probably won't, just because there really is nothing like good coming out this week that I really care about. Like nothing that's like I'm like interested enough to drive all the way down to the comic book store to pick up. So I just, yeah, I don't know. Like it's funny because I don't want to say my love for comics is dying, but I'm starting to care less and less. And it's just because like the stuff coming out, like there are some great series, but other than that, like it's very, very hard to find like good stuff every week to read. I've been spending actually a lot of my free time reading mangas. I've been getting back into those again. Well, not that I ever stopped, but I've been reading a lot more now than I was when I started reading comics and stuff. So if you guys are interested in me doing manga reviews, let me know. Just be aware that it's going to be like obscure stuff. I usually tend to read like stuff that will never be translated here in America, so it's always like fan translated. So the grammar stuff isn't always perfect, and it's not because like the stuff I read is like really crazy or anything. It's just because it usually tends to be very niche. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. But yes. Let's just cut to this. So we have the origin of Daredevil. I won't be showing every page just because I don't know how Marvel. I mean, this is a reprint from a comic that came out when, like, the 60s, 70s. So I don't know, like, it would be weird for them to copy strike me, but just to be on the safe side, I'm not going to show everything. But yeah. So we start off with typical cliche gangsters at a gym playing poker when Daredevil in his yellow and red attire shows up. Anyone remember this outfit? I'm kind of interested to see like a modern take on it. Don't get me wrong, I like his current outfit. The all red is pretty sweet, but I'd be kind of interested to see this. But yeah, so he kind of we get introduced to him where he shows up and then he easily defeats the gang. He uses his strength to take out the big dude, and then he uses his baton to knock the weapons out of these guys, and he basically uses his agility to dodge between everybody. And I will say that is a pretty sweet cover. And then that's when we cut back to the story, the origin of Daredevil, where basically I guess his mom is dead, and he grew up with his dad, who was a boxer named Battling Murdoch, and he was never like the greatest boxer ever, and I guess he wanted his boy not to play sports, but to instead enroll in like activities like how should I phrase this? He wanted his son to instead like basically gain knowledge and pick like some other kind of career, because he doesn't want his son to follow in his footsteps. And I thought, you know what, that's actually kind of an interesting take, because usually like in these kind of stories you have like the dad is always trying to get his son into sports, but now we actually have the opposite, where the dad's actually trying to get his son away from sports and actually into like stuff like scholastic stuff, because he doesn't want his son to basically end up like him. like barely making ends meet. But of course, his son like looks out the window and sees all the kids having fun. I don't know what the hell's going on here. This is kind of funny. What's this? Is this like aggressive handshaking? I don't know. That's kind of like a funny physical activity. What are you guys doing? Or aggressive handshaking? Want to join in? No, that's too labor-inducing for me. It's too physical. I can't do that. I can't shake people's hands aggressively. So, let's see. I'll skip. Oh, I can show the next page. I'll show. So, basically, Matt Murdock is on his way home when he sees a old man crossing the street, and he sees a car coming. Brakes are basically not working, and the old man doesn't see what's going on. And Matt Murdock jumps in front of the way and basically takes the hit for the old man. And during that, I guess Ajax Atomic Labs radioactive materials leaked and went into Matt Murdock's eyes and blinded him. Skip some pages here. There we go. And basically we have we cut to a little bit more into the future, years later, where his dad is supposed to take a fall. Basically, the match is rigged, but he sees his son like cheering him on in the crowd, and he decides, you know what, my son's here rooting for me. I want to make him proud. I'm not going to take a fall, and instead ends up beating this guy. And because of that, the mob feels like he double-crossed him, and basically they kill him. So Matt finishes his schooling and basically becomes a attorney. And here we are introduced to Karen Page for the very first time. We're also introduced to Nelson. And it's kind of funny seeing Karen Page here and then just realizing like what Marvel later ended up doing to her. Basically, they, like in the, was it the 90s run where she basically becomes a prostitute addicted to drugs, and then later on ends up getting like an STD, which later kills her, right? So I don't know, it's kind of funny, but it also kind of makes me wonder, like, I wonder what like Stan Lee like thought of when that happened, like, because I mean these comics are very kind of campy. Because that was just kind of the style back then. You know, they're campy, they're fun, they're just like little adventures for like kids to read and stuff like that. And then you have like, you know, the beautiful but innocent Karen Page and things. And then, you basically, later on, you're going to turn her into a STD-ridden, drug-addicted prostitute. I guess it's like, all right. That's a very weird leap to do, but okay. Is that still canon, by the way? I would think not, just because I think that ended up killing her, right? And isn't she back in the new run or the current run? So is that whole like the STD prostitute drug addicted Karen Page, is that no longer canon anymore? I know they kind of ran a similar story in the TV series. Well, they made her addicted to drugs. They didn't make her a prostitute or give her STDs, as far as I know. I haven't really like watched the series, but this was like a review that I saw on YouTube where they did bring the whole drug addiction, but that was as far as they went, which I think was actually a smart move on their part. But yeah, I mean, is that canon now? Like, is Karen Page a future STD, a drug addicted prostitute, or did they like retcon that? Basically Matt Murdock decides, you know what, I'm blind, but like all my other senses are great, so why not become a superhero? I think it also has to do with the fact that he wants to get revenge for his dad. That's when he decides to come up with the suit. And I don't know, I always find it kind of interesting when the characters like knit their own outfits. Like I'm just like picturing them all, which makes me wonder: do the supervillains do it too? That would be something really really funny to see. Like you just see like the supervillains just like at home, like knitting their outfit. Or maybe not even them knitting, but they get their mom to knit it for them or their grandma. Like that would be just like such a funny gag to see. Who would be a good villain to see do that? Who's a villain that wears like a interesting outfit? I'm like drawing a blank. I don't know, but it'd be funny to see. Like let's get like Sinestro, and then Sinestro like we just see like his grandma like knitting him his outfit, and he's just kind of sitting there as she does it. And afterwards, he's about to leave, and then she's like, "No, I made some cookies. Please take some with you back home. You can give it to your henchman." But yeah, so he practices with his walking stick, which I will say, you know what, his cane is actually a pretty sweet weapon. I guess it's just. I mean, like, of course, back then his weapon had the little hook, the handle. I don't think they do that now. I think now it's just kind of like batons, pretty much. But I always thought it was kind of a cool weapon, like two sticks, and then there's like actually the cable inside, so that he can like throw it and then pull it back to him, or he can use it to swing around. But yeah, he's basically he's able to track down the group that we saw earlier, and they're the ones who basically bumped off his dad. So we'll skip some more pages. So basically, he takes out the gang, and then the boss shows up, and the boss makes his escape. And I like how the boss made his escape by literally pulling the rug out from under Matt Murdock. But we have like a cool moment where we see Matt Murdock using his enhanced sense of smell, and he's able to track down the boss by his cigar smell. So yeah, he chases him down, and so he takes out one henchman by throwing the stick at him and tripping him. And then I thought this was kind of funny. He takes down the boss by rolling over the trash can and then running on it to run him over. I don't know why I laughed so much at that, but I think it's just this image right here. Like, that's just such a funny image that, like, you're not going to see this in, like, modern comics. Which is another reason why I love, like, these old school comics. They're really campy and just hilarious. And then also you just get just the funny, like, trash talking and stuff. Let me see if I can find some. I'll go back to the earlier pages. See if I can find some of the trash talking. Hey, that guy's here looking for trouble. The fixer won't like that. No, that's not it. Must be some kind of nun. Where is it? Toss that costume clown out on his ear, Porky. If it's an exercise you want, Festo, you've come to the right guy. Like, it's just, I don't know, like, just some of these stuff is it's just hilarious. You punk, I'll fix it so you never make another wisecrack again. But, yeah, I'm gonna stop it there. I don't want to show everything. But yeah, that was the very first comic of Daredevil, very first introduction to him. It's awesome. Like, I like it. I love these. I also should give you the credits. So, written by Stan Lee, illustrated by Bill Everett, and then lettered by Sam Rosen. And I love these old classic comics. They're just so hilariously campy, and that makes it just so amazing. So yeah, that's True Believers, Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, the very first comic of Daredevil. So I hope you guys enjoy. Here's the original cover. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell for notification, leave a like if you like the video, comment down below. Tell me what you think. Do you want me to do more of these retro comic reviews? Do you want me to do mangas? Are there any comics that you guys recommend? Just let me know, and I'll check them out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.